It's that time of year again where you just can't seem to get away from sick people. They're in your office, in line behind you, coughing on the back of your neck, or even in your own home in the form of an incapacitated spouse or a needy child. And if sick people aren't bad enough themselves, they can also get you sick too. And if that sickness is more than just the common cold, you could be in trouble. Yes, they could have the flu. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound like something life-threatening. In fact, some people even consider the flu to be akin to something like a bad cold. But in reality, influenza is more serious than you think.
You don't just have some low-grade fever and feeling a little achy. You hurt all over. It feels like you've been hit by a truck. The flu causes much higher fever. There's general systemic symptoms. Your whole body becomes involved. Headache, usually at least moderate if not severe, causing usually significant cough as it progresses down the respiratory tract. Individuals that have underlying health concerns or altered immunity, like those people that have asthma, severe heart disease, diabetes, are more prone to getting severely ill when they get the flu.
Not only are the symptoms more all-consuming, but also, when the flu goes bad, it actually takes lives. In the United States, the flu accounts for 10,000 deaths annually, and some of those are in otherwise healthy individuals, which is why it's a good idea to keep an eye on the progress of that incapacitated spouse of yours. Oh, and be prepared to take them in for some medical assistance should the flu take a nasty turn for the worse.
But for those that are at higher risk or those that are having a more severe illness, there are things we can do to help. And those anti-flu agents are most effective in the first 48 to 72 hours of the illness, where it's not just what seems like a head cold. Important to get to your doctor as soon as possible. If your doctor, either clinically or by lab testing, determines that you have the flu, then there are things you can give, even to a child, to try to reduce the severity of that flu infection.
Once you're back at home to manage the illness on your own, the best thing to do is get a lot of bed rest and let your body take charge on battling the influenza virus out of your system. Like any viral infection, a majority of those symptoms we listed earlier, the fever, the cough, the achiness, aren't the virus's doing, but the warrior efforts of your immune system. In essence, your system is trying to burn up and throw out the invader, and your body has become a war-torn battleground. And like any good soldier, your immune system is going to need a lot of nutrients to keep its strength and fighting skills up to task. Which is why in between all that resting, you should also be taking in as many fluids as you can.
Water is fine if you're able to take in electrolytes or salts through a normal diet. If you can't, then you want to use something that contains salts also, Pedialyte or other hydration solutions. You can use sports drinks in adults. The key is to try to get as much in as far as diet and water as possible. But like I said, if you can't eat, then you have to get in your salts in another way to help maintain your blood pressure and help you remain stable during that illness.
Fighting an illness war is exhausting, and you can bet that once you're in it, experiencing the tired achiness yourself, you'll wish you'd done more to keep that flu virus from invading in the first place. The best way to do that is to rent a spacesuit for the winter. And if you don't have access to one of those, then just pick up some good antibacterial hand soap.
The best way is good hygiene, good hand washing, covering your nose or mouth. Better with the bend of your arm than your own hand, since we do so many things with our hands. Many people will go to the extent of carrying around some of those alcohol wipes or washes with them so that they can several times a day wash their hands. They will reduce the presence of the virus on the skin. People will use them to wash their phone handles or door handles or things like that also.
Another good prevention tool is the flu vaccine. Now, normally you want to receive the vaccine before flu season starts. That way you're prepared for the virus before it even starts to spread. But you can get it throughout the year. And another thing, if you do have the flu, try to stay away from the healthy people. That means calling in sick to work, keeping the kids home from school, and not going out to return any unwanted holiday presents. That'll keep a little flu going around from turning into a community epidemic. I'm Dr. Keller Wortham, and you're watching the eHealth Network. Stay healthy, but if you're not, stay home.